Welcome to the second video in the series of the COVID-19 pandemic series that we're putting together for Wounded Warriors Canada folks who are looking at loading onto programs or who may have been loaded onto one of our programs and got bumped off because we had to cancel. My name is Tim Black. I'm an Associate Prof of Counseling Psychology at the University of Victoria and then Wounded Warriors Canada National Clinical Advisor. Today we want to introduce you very quickly to something called the BETR Model and the BETR Check. On program, when you come onto the whatever it is you're going to be, the SRP, the TRP, COPE programs, other programs that are running through Wounded Warriors, we're going to be teaching you a lot of this stuff, and the BETR Model is the one that we start with very often when we're talking with everybody on program about how we understand trauma. And the BETR Model stands for Body, Emotions, Thoughts, and Relationships. Now, I've been an integral scholar for a while and followed the work of Ken Wilber, so I owe a debt of gratitude to him for his ideas and thinking in integral theory. He doesn't describe it the way that we describe it on program, but a lot of the ideas that I have come from reading a lot of integral theory, so I just want to acknowledge him as well. Body, emotions, thoughts, relationships, very simply, is looking at how do people exist in the world. First off, we're bodies. We start as bodies. Secondarily, we're emotions. We have emotions. It's part of who we are. They are very important to our existence. We also have thoughts as part of who we are. And then relationships are a part of our everyday life. No human has ever existed without relationships, and they're really important. And what we want to teach you is how to look at your experience through this lens, because when we say reflect on your experience or think about how you're feeling, sometimes it's hard to wrap your head around how to do that. So what we want to teach you today is something called the BETR Check. It's not magic. It's not going to solve all your problems. It's a building block that we're going to come back to time and again as we do this. And on program, we really encourage people to look at. What's the BETR Check? BETR Check is you start with your body and you just go from the tip of your toes to the top of your head and you check. You see what's going on, including your breath, what your body's doing, anything that's uncomfortable, pain. A lot of people have pain. Any part that feels relaxed or not relaxed. Check your gut. And the idea here isn't to do anything with it. It's not to worry about the feelings. We'll get to that afterwards. But just what's your body doing? So oftentimes we don't spend a lot of time actually checking in with our bodies. So first step of the BETR Check, check your body. Just notice what's going on. And breath is going to be really important as we go through this. Slow breathing really will help your system start to settle down. Short, choppy breathing or really shallow breathing oftentimes helps keep us in a bit of a more anxious place. So the longer, slower breathing you can have, and you can try, the better. Second step of the BETR Check is emotions. So notice your body, keep it there, but then go out one step to your emotions. What emotions are there? You may not be aware of emotions. You may think, well, I don't really feel much, and that's okay. The idea here isn't to make you feel anything, it's to check and see if there are feelings there. I know for me, there's oftentimes feelings of a little bit of fear that creep in when I think about people who I love who might be in danger with all the stuff that's going on, and that would be understandable. There's other feelings too of like, yeah, I kind of enjoy being around my family a little bit more, even though it's for bad reasons. I do actually enjoy being around my family, so I do love that feeling of being close to my family. Just notice what your emotions are. You don't have to do anything with them. They just sit there. Next step, check your thoughts. So just notice what's there. It may be images. It may be actual thoughts like, oh, what are we all going to do? This is terrible. This is awful. It could be memories. It could even be sounds that are going through your head. That kind of thing, and just check them. Just notice what's there. Just be aware of the thoughts. Sometimes to slow things down, you can jot them down on a piece of paper. One at a time, it tends to slow things down. But again, just check them. Just see what's there. And then the last step, the R of the BETR Check, is relationships. And what we try to teach here is just check how connected you feel to people. Do you feel really connected? Do you feel not connected and kind of isolated? Maybe you don't have a chance to see the people who you care most about and you're feeling pretty isolated. And just check what that's like for you right now. Maybe you're overconnected. Maybe space is getting a little tight at home and it's causing a little bit more stress than everybody would like. And the idea here is to start to learn about what your experience is like. It's going to change throughout the day. Your body, your emotions, your thoughts, and your relationships, your sense of connection or isolation is going to change every day. One of the most important things for us when we're teaching this is going right back to the breath. I know it's simple, and I know that a lot of people talk about really fancy techniques to try and get you to do things. Because our bodies lay the foundation for where we're at, we usually just start with trying to get people to understand the power of the breath. Any athlete knows this, that if you're not breathing properly, you're going to conk out sooner rather than later if you can't get your breath under control in a sprint or in any kind of physical exertion. So it's not that we're any different than that. We also, even when we're not high performance athletes, rely on our breath. So try to think about taking long, slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. It is simple and it's effective. We wouldn't teach it if we didn't find it effective. Does it take practice? Yeah. Doing the BETR check, is it going to solve everything? No. It's going to build a foundation for you to start to understand what you're going through. So that's it for this week. Between now and the next video, we really just would encourage you, just do your BETR checks every so often throughout the day. Notice your body, notice your emotions, notice your thoughts, notice your relationships. And again, don't try to do too much with it. Learn what's going on, learn what your pattern is, what your rhythms are, and let's just start there. Until the next video, please do take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We are doing our part here in Canada, along with everybody else, to try and flatten the curve. So let's keep ourselves inside, keep up our physical distancing, and let's get through this together.